What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 14 of Random Movie Review. Tonight we're talking 1986's Band of the Hand. Now, Band of the Hand. Quite honestly, I've never heard of this movie until Sasha mentioned it to me a couple months ago. And I'm sorry about that, but so we're here to talk about it.
Hell yeah.
BS, like we normally do. We can't normally seem to stay on track, but that's okay. That's what we're here for. It wouldn't be random otherwise. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good.
Chilling.
Yeah, me too. Good film.
Yeah,
Thanks,
of course.
thanks for having me, JJ.
Yeah, man. Always. I saw the wrestler come out, and I knew the woo was coming. I can't do it like Darius can, but yeah, we got some people in the chat already. Optic Racer pops in here at the beginning.
Yeah, Optic Racer was really excited about this movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We got Darius. Well, he don't count because we're on the same panel, but he's saying hey to me in the the chat. Like I'm right here.
Hi, Bone.
Bone. How you doing, Bone? Bees
Bones,
Nest.
got JP's Tabernacle. What's up, JP's? What's up?
I love food. Who's I love food?
Oh, I love food. Yeah. Someone I met over Chaos Central. Yeah.
I've never seen I love food in the chat before. Hello,
I love food too.
I go away for a second and we're live.
Yeah. What's up?
Really?
I love food. What's up, bro? Good to see you. Deej, man.
What's
someone
up,
I ain't
Deej?
seen in a while. What's
Hey,
going on?
everybody.
Hello.
Yeah, you probably been working your butt off. Bees Nest. Nope, that's not it. This
Yeah,
one.
Bees Nest.
Yeah, what's up, Bees? Oh man, chat keeps jumping on me.
Yay.
You're too popular.
No. Come on, you ain't figured it out yet, Darius? It's StreamYard. It does this shit.
You're the one who taught me how to live stream.
Oh, don't say that.
You taught me everything I know.
Don't say that either. Ain't nobody watch you anymore if you say that shit.
That's bullshit.
But anyway, we're no. Actually, I keep saying this. Carol's Cookies. What's up?
Hello,
Sweet Pea?
Carol.
Hello.
What's
Carol.
up?
Hello, Carol.
Good to see you. Darius Munchausen. This guy right here.
Oh, what did I do?
Me and several people on the panel at one point in time have put the bug in his ear. Hey man, you need to start doing something with your channel, man. You need to start doing this, start doing that. And through a lot of poking, prodding, and pestering, he finally went and did something with his channel. His very first live stream, he already had 100 subs, at which a lot of people fight to get their first 100, believe it or not. And just like me, he did his first live stream and already did his 100. Man, I'm like, cool, awesome. Well, this wasn't that long ago, ladies and gentlemen. Mara Krell, what's going on? Thank you, Mara.
What's up,
What's up,
Mar?
Mar?
I didn't want to say I was
Games.
ignoring him, but I didn't want to interrupt you. So.
No,
What's
no,
up,
it's fine.
Games?
It's fine.
doing,
Games, Deranged
Games?
Lunatic. What's up? What's up, man?
Hey,
Good to see you.
Dio.
Steve.
Hello, deranged lunatic.
And Steve Kenobi, what's up?
Where?
But anyway,
Wow, Stig, and then it's
Yeah,
all
it
popping
is.
up so late. Everything's popping up late here on my end of the.
Yeah, I'm not
Comment.
seeing Stig anywhere.
I'm not either.
You have to
But,
scroll up. You have to scroll up to see Steve.
Oh,
Well,
hi,
yeah.
Stig. Well, hi,
The
did Stig
chat
see
has.
anyway.
Oh, okay. I see Stig. Okay.
Oh yeah, of course. And
Stig
you
said
know,
he's adding it to the list.
Yeah.
even though that's not until tomorrow, but still, I know
I'll
it's
take
appreciated.
it. I'll accept it.
Yes,
That's
I
happy
know.
early birthday, Moira.
Yeah, happy early
happy
birthday.
early-
Happy early
Happy
birthday,
early
Moira.
birthday.
I love
And
you guys.
happy belated birthday, JJ.
It's it was the first time I seen it, Steve, and I'm gonna be honest with you. For 80s movies, it was Band of the Hand was in 1986. It's not real bad. It's got what's his name? Stephen Lang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
as Joe.
I know it's Lang, but I couldn't remember if it was Stephen or not. It's got a very young Stephen Lang in it. I didn't even realize it until someone said something while we were
I don't
watching.
even know who that is.
Scarface dude from Avatar.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Nendroid. Hey Nendroid.
Colonel.
Hey,
Okay,
Nendroid.
shot with the arrow right at the end.
Stig says it's my birthday in Norway. He is technically correct. And
Yeah,
thank you
because-
Yeah,
so
that's
much.
right. He's
Because of-
6
Thank you
hours
so
ahead.
much for the happy birthday.
Steve is in the future.
Mwah.
Yes.
Thank
He
you.
is
So-
a time traveler.
Darius
Yeah,
brought up the
Happy
picture.
birthday, no more. Like,
Yeah.
But anyway,
Boy, remember this guy from Avatar?
Yeah, who is he like? Oh, the psychopath who wanted to genocide everybody. Why didn't you just say that? That would have been so much easier. Just say the psycho genocide guy. Like I would have
Right.
understood that. I've been like, oh,
What,
that guy.
But anyway, Darius is finally went
guy.
and done something with his channel, and
So that's the same
Not-
guy?
Yep.
yeah,
Same,
same
yeah.
guy.
guy.
many years between the two movies,
Hold
but yes.
up.
Yeah. And he was
Oh
in
my
Don't
Lord.
Breathe. He's
I
the
would not
blind guy
have
that kills
guessed.
everyone.
Oh,
in
that's
Avatar-
right. We were
In
talking about
Avatar, he almost looked like Cable. Anyone knows Cable from X-Force?
Yeah, Cable.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does
yeah.
look like that.
As a matter of
Yeah,
fact,
yeah, he does.
that version of Stephen Lang right here, Avatar's version of Stephen Lang, would have been the perfect Cable.
Yeah.
I think
He-
it's
he
nice
would've
they gave the guy from the Goonies another chance. Honestly,
But as I
I
was
like
saying,
how they even made a Goonies reference in that movie. It's great.
as I was saying, this gentleman here, his first live stream, he was killing it. Not even a month later, he's already over 200 subs. Give this man a hand. People are flocking to his live streams. He's killing it.
Oh,
He's
thank you.
killing And please don't
I was just here to
say
watch a
you're
movie.
and please don't ever say that it's because it's anything I've ever told you, because trust me, my friend, I've never been that popular. I'm not hating. I'm not doing anything. This is just pure congrats on your behalf, Darius. But I may have pointed you in the right direction, but you're definitely doing it right.
Well, there's
and
nothing wrong with you getting credit for pointing someone in the right direction.
I know, but I don't ever want to take credit from anybody because that's all I've ever been. I've tried to be here to help people, and if I've done that, then I've done my job.
And that's why you're awesome. Duh.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody thinks so, because I'm tired of fucking getting ignored still.
Who the fuck is ignoring you? You literally have pretty much a full panel. Like, who the fuck is ignoring you?
Don't worry about that. It's a discussion for a later date. Okay. But anyway, we're talking about Band of the Hand, 1986. Got a bunch of people in there. I don't know who the fuck it is, except for Lawrence Fishburne and Stephen Lang.
No, Larry.
Larry.
Larry Fishburne.
My bad, Larry Fishburne.
No. No.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, that's how he's introduced in the movie, is Larry Fishburne.
No, that's
Man,
just funny. I didn't know
credit.
he went by that.
He's credited as Larry Fishburne. I've seen movies where he's credited as Lawrence Fishburne the Third.
That
took a while.
sounds fancy.
It took a while for him to get the name, I guess, to settle on a name.
Lawrence Fishburne the Third. That sounds hot as fuck.
And speaking of movies, another gentleman we got in the chat, Nendroid 243.
Woo.
You see it highlighted on the screen. Released an Nendroid cut. All right, what this young gentleman is doing, he's taking the Disney sequels. Force Awakens, he's already done. He's done his own cut to it, re-edited, added some stuff, reintegrated some stuff, changed up some things, completely changed the movie for the better. On the 28th of next month, he's releasing The Last Jedi of his cut, and I can't wait for it, honestly. You know, I remember when The Last Jedi was announced, and I'm like, man, I can't wait to go see this, but then it's like leaving the theater and like, what the fuck did I just see? But Nindroid's really doing this. And sometime next year he'll be releasing The Rise of Skywalker. This young man right here has got a talent for it. He needs to go into the business professionally and do this and make a buck for real. He can do it as long as he concentrates and does it. And my hat's off to you, my friend. I appreciate it. You're giving us all something great to watch again. Now, back to the business at hand. I've got my general questions about this movie, and I know we've all, well, most of it. What the hell is
I'm
that?
sorry, JJ, but you said back to the business at hand, and we're talking
Yeah,
about
exactly.
band of the hand.
Of the
Oh
hand.
my goodness.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yes.
that just struck me as funny. I see like.
No, I think
see
it's
what
funny
you did there.
too. I didn't think about it before.
I've got my general questions. I'm going to ask everybody, but whatever you guys want to throw in on the conversation it will work also. But we're just going to start off, Slasher. You know how this goes. I'm going to start with you. Your overall impressions of this movie, man. Not, everybody pay close attention. When I say your overall impressions, not what you liked, what you didn't like, whatever, just what you thought of the movie. Just
It's kind of hard to do one without the other.
So what you're
A
saying
quick one-
is we
a quick-
can't talk. So what you're saying is we can't talk about trains for an hour like we've done in the
That,
past.
or that guy
No.
you work with. No.
No.
I'm just being funny.
No.
There was no
I
train.
got the finger. I've got my finger on the trigger, hon. If you start talking about that shit,
That
There is no
I'm-
things. There is no things in this movie that make me think of trains or a guy that I work with. So you're good.
okay, all right, because I got the
What's
finger on
wrong
the
with
trigger. I do have a Phantom Zone with your name on it.
Oh my.
Anyway, go ahead, Slasher. What was your overall thoughts of this movie? Even though this was your suggestion, anyway.
Yeah. All right, I know it came out '86. I didn't see it till the '90s, probably like the mid '90s on like some random fucking VHS tape.
Okay.
I thought it was all right when I first saw it, and then I saw it again years later after that. I was like, hey, you know what? This is a better movie than I thought it was. And I've probably seen it about, this is probably like the fourth or fifth time that I've seen it after the first two times I've seen it.
So about 6 or 7 times.
And this movie, it holds up for me.
Okay. All
I
right.
could bet I'd like to watch it.
And I always like that. I always like when I could suggest this movie to people and that they watch it and they're like, "Oh, good movie."
Oh damn.
80s it's a good 80s action flick with a good story.
Yeah, that's what it is. Some great 80s music
Interesting.
in it.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
the soundtrack was awesome. The
Yeah,
It's
soundtrack.
like
was awesome.
80s. Yeah. Because Bob Dylan did it, some of the songs and that, but it was like an 80s action for teenage kids, sort of like where you. But it was 80s action though. Good at that.
It was like
was-
if you
Bonus probably
put a bunch
video.
of- it was like if you put a bunch of juvenile delinquents in a Suicide Squad type situation.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. I didn't even think of that.
Oh my.
And put them in Vietnam, like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta
okay.
get the grizzled Vietnam veteran started the Suicide Squad with juvenile delinquents in the Everglades.
Well,
Yeah.
at least they didn't have a damn toilet bowl on one of their heads. That was great. Fucking Suicide Squad. That movie was shit.
Not that.
bowl was shit.
I'm not just talking about the stupid movie. I'm talking about like the
Yeah, I
Suicide
know,
Squad
I
in
know.
general.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to ask this more. Ray. You haven't seen this movie, have you?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Darius, your overall impression of this movie.
I've never seen this movie before, and not only was it almost more 80s than I thought possible, it was also very Florida. They go from Miami to the Everglades and then back again. And that's the geographical arc, right?
Yeah,
Start-
it was very Florida.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The name of the movie is now The Band of the Hand, also known as Florida Man Origin Story.
The birth of
Yeah.
Florida Man. The birth
Yeah.
of Florida Man.
Yeah. If you follow the hero's journey, right? They start from a place of
Florida Man Rising. There you go.
yeah. Yeah. They start from a place of comfort, right? And then they're taken out of their element, right? They go to juvie, and then they get dumped in the swamp, and then they learn new skills. They grow and they change, and then they return home having changed. So they go back to Miami, completely different from when they were arrested. So it actually did have a
and as a
hero arc.
cohesive group, although they were all different and from different walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, almost like natural
Yeah.
diversity.
You know, there's a lot of people today that need to watch this movie. Just cause, because there's so much diversity
To learn the
out
ways
there,
of
and so much
Florida
argument.
Man.
No, it ain't that, man. It ain't that. I'm just saying, we've got our own problems throughout the states, much less the world. We all need to learn to work together in some form or fashion, and this is a good movie for that, because it puts all of our differences aside and work towards a common goal. And we need that. We need that more than ever right now. But
Okay,
anyway, I'm
well,
sorry.
I didn't blow up a school and shoot my stepfather, and I didn't get into a gang war, and I didn't fucking get busted dealing drugs to undercover, and like everything that happened in the beginning. Like, we didn't do all that shit, did we?
No, that's why we're
No,
not
I didn't.
under the hand.
You didn't do all that in the Bronx?
No,
No.
I didn't.
That's
I
Florida.
mean,
all of that is.
All right.
a
I
Florida
mean,
thing.
Darius. The week isn't over yet, but no, I haven't done that.
Those are all things that you do in Florida before you go to high school.
Yeah, I'd say that's how we do it in Detroit.
Well, yeah. Well, old Detroit, anyway.
On the east side.
Anyway, Raquel, this was your first time seeing it. What was your overall impressions of it?
Very action packed with a very fast pace. Started in the youth group, detention center, and then the youth group now have to learn to survive in the wild.
Well, all right. We're also glossing over the thing that they just pull them out of their whatever cells they're in, throw them all in a cell together, then take them on a goddamn fan boat and then just dump them in the Everglades.
Yeah,
I
with some random veteran that they don't know. Like, here you go, motherfuckers.
Right.
Well, he's
Wookiee.
he's the Charles in charge of the movie.
Right.
Wookie, thank you.
Hey, what's up,
Asshole.
Wookie?
Hello, Wookie.
Cookie!
Hey, what's up, Wookie? And
And-
Han, can I point out what a great actor Stephen Lang is?
I lost my
'Cause
shit.
he always plays like some veteran military hard badass, but he was never even in the military.
Well, and to play off of what you were saying, Darius, the hero's journey. Also, a lot of times, part of the hero's journey is your mentor passes, which it pushes you even more forward in your journey, which also happened in this movie for the Band of Hand kids.
Right. He was like a young Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Raquel, what were you thinking when they just grabbed them out of their cells and decided to dump them in the Everglades? What were you like? That was confusing to you, right?
I literally thought they were just like abandoning them in the woods.
I
Or
thought
the,
it was going to go sort of like where they have to kill each other sort of game.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jens is thinking they were gonna put them in the Lord of the Flies type situation.
Battle Royale.
Yeah. I thought it was
Yeah, Battle Royale type
The
shit.
Hunger Games.
yeah. Condemned and all. We fucking thinking, yeah. That. I
Yeah,
thought it was
yeah.
like that.
If you don't kill each other, the Gators will.
The last juvenile delinquent is the sole survivor with a clean record.
Hi, Wookie.
Okay, all right. All right, Han, your turn.
No, I had never even heard of this movie until you all said you were going to watch it this week. And this is also obviously the first time I've seen the movie, and I loved it. It's like the 1980s threw up in a VHS cassette.
That's most of them.
And wrapped it
It's-
in a Cosby sweater.
Yeah, it's that, I mean, that, for my basic thoughts on the movie, that's all I can say is it was awesome, and it's like all the best things of the 1980s threw up into a VHS cassette that you rewound, even though they would charge you if you didn't rewind it when you took it back to the video store.
Oh my god, I've got to use that euphemism at some point or whatever.
Awesome. Jens,
Yeah, well,
your overall impressions, man.
yeah, I thought it was good in that because I'd never seen it before, and that, and
Did you hear of this before, though?
no, it was one of the films where I don't even think I'd seen it at the pictures. I mean, at the video store.
All right. See, also, I gotta say about this movie, all right, all the video stores in my neighborhood, this didn't exist in the video stores in my fucking neighborhood for some reason.
Mine either, because I don't ever remember
The
seeing
copy
this movie.
I saw was like recorded off of cable. I never ever saw a physical VHS copy of this.
So it could have, because Bone in the chat was asking, was this in theaters or straight to video? So it may not
It
have even
probably
been
was.
straight to video.
It probably was in and out of movie theaters within less than a month.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't ever remember this movie at all, and
Yeah.
in '86 I was I was old enough to know movies because that's what me and my friends did. We went to the movies every weekend and saw random shit and never heard of it.
And the cover, if the cover's like what your thumbnail is, everyone would have like remembered that.
Think it's like, what is the Saved by the Bell Hawaiian style?
Oh my god, I forgot about that one.
It
Yeah.
does
Yeah,
look
they go to Hawaii.
that cover matches the movie not at all. Really.
No.
But I don't know. Yeah.
Well, no,
it's-
the clothes are right. They got the clothes.
Yeah,
right.
the clothes
I don't
are
think
right.
the car
but-
fits in the movie.
Yeah,
though.
that's not. Yeah, that
No,
part.
no.
and
That's not scaled to fit.
that cover normally covers at least kind of give you a hint of what the movie's about. And if you see that, like you said, it's like Saved by the Bell, Miami Vice, Hawaii, or something.
Yeah. That's probably them, sort of like after the film when they can just like chill out a bit more. But yeah, I thought though, like when
Yeah,
it
they
first
do
started-
have some kick-ass hairstyles.
Yeah, because the
Before-
hair does not give up throughout the film. no
Yo,
matter
they're
what
in the
they do.
Everglades and it's pouring rain, and their hair is still on point. It's like, oh, that dude's pompadour, Rattler. That Rattler's pompadour was still.
Yeah.
Yo, that was Aquanet at its finest.
It
Right
was
there.
a foot off his fucking head. You could you could skateboard fucking off that guy's hair.
Ramp and do
Which
wheelies
makes
off it.
which makes me think of Streets of Fire.
Oh my god.
Oh,
The crazy pompadour.
the Bill Paxton pompadour.
Yeah.
I was not aware
Yeah.
that Bill Paxton had a pompadour, but now that's
Oh
Oh,
yeah, yeah. In Streets of Fire.
We
Oh,
watched
his
that
hair
one.
was way the fuck
Was
up
it
here.
last week or the
Austin
week
Fraser
before?
wants
Couple-
to know why I failed to see the
It was a
movie.
couple weeks ago because we did
I
Demolition
was
Man
not
last week,
aware
right?
it was being watched.
Because
Yeah.
you left the group.
Yeah, I didn't exactly see anybody bring me back neither.
Well, I thought like at the beginning of the film, like it was going to be one of them
And y'all can still
teachers,
communicate
like,
with me individually.
them
And
youth
some of y'all
sort of,
actually have me on Facebook Messenger.
and so I was
Over
thinking, oh
half of
no,
it.
it's gonna be boring. I thought, oh yeah.
I thought
I don't want to watch this
Well,
film.
to be fair, Moira, you don't watch half the shit we're watching anyway.
Okay.
But it did start kicking off though, and like as I say, it turned into 80s action. It was like Mission Missing in Action sort of meets Saved by the Bell.
That's a perfect explanation.
Wow. Okay.
That nails it on the head. That is a perfect explanation.
Wow.
Mario,
Yeah, but I don't think I don't.
sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Raquel.
I just invited her back onto mine.
Someone's vibrating. Oh shit.
Well, wait.
that was.
I remember his. Wait, what was it? He said something about Streets of Fire too. His comparison was he said it was Indiana Jones fighting evil Fonzie. His comparisons are pretty good.
Yeah, because like the dudes and all in it, even though they're supposed to be playing like teenagers, well, like 16, 17 year olds, because I think that is they're in the youth, because if they're over 18, they'll be tried as adults, and so they're like that 16, 17-year-old. But obviously, the actors they've got, they're probably like 21 or whatever.
Yeah, it was the 80s, so all those actors were probably in their 20s.
Yeah. And so like the action was pretty good, wasn't it? A bit corny in that A-Team action a bit, where there was like loads of fucking guns fighting.
Oh yeah, with the car crashes and shit. Like they had crazy A-Team style car crashes.
Yeah, but at least some of them did die, unlike the A-Team.
Yeah,
yeah. But I like the A-Team and that. But it did have that sort of action where they really went for it in that. But some of it probably, because there was so much in it and that, didn't get rehearsed as much, and so some of it did look a bit sort of when you see it like B-movie 80s sort of B-movie action sort of, where the action's half decent, but it's not on point because they hadn't had time to practice as much. But the action was good though.
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
the action was good, and when I even thought when the stuff started moving slow, it was still interesting.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It was quite action packed. Most of it was like at the beginning, more of a survival action where they was having to survive for their lives because it was got put on the island to, like a team building sort of.
A band of the hand.
Yeah. And then, like, because I wasn't expecting as much action as there was in it. Because I said I was a bit surprised at first, because I was expecting it to be one of them. Oh yeah, they'll be at a school desk talking and that, and there might be a fight or two that kicks off, because there was a bit of a beef going on, wasn't there, between two of the Band of the Hands.
Optic Racer, I'd like to crawl. JJ showed me Crawl for the first time. Like, I never saw Crawl till we did the very first one, and I liked it.
That was the very first episode of the Random Movie Review was Crawl. Awesome movie. I love it. And you know, it don't date very well, but when you watch the movie itself, you can look at it and see that I'm gonna go ahead and say 95% of this movie, of everything you've seen, was built in some form or fashion.
Actual sets.
Yeah, actual sets. Yeah. Now the special effects didn't date very well, but the sets did, man, because that was crafting at its finest right there. It's what movies were about back then, what they could create, what they could make you fantasize, and it was definitely awesome. You know, unlike this movie, which was basically still practical effects. You know, it was old buildings.
Oh, not a drop of CGI in this movie.
No.
Nah. This is all practical.
No, this was 100%.
No green screen or anything in this.
This movie was 100% Florida.
They could have used
Florida
CGI.
man, Florida man, doing
Oh,
things
God.
only Florida can.
They could have used any CGI back then. You know, they classed too much with the 80s color background. Well,
But
no,
anyway, moving forward, Slasher, tell me what you actually absolutely liked about this movie.
Jesus. Well, you got all day?
yeah, what didn't you?
All right. I'll start small with the soundtrack. I'll
Okay.
say the soundtrack was good. Whether it was original or whether it was like, stuff from the 80s that they just decided to throw into the soundtrack. I'm not a huge Bob Dylan fan at all, but his song, that's like the theme song of the movie, they play at the beginning and the end. I think that is legit the only Bob Dylan song that I could actually listen to and not want to clean out my ears with a screwdriver. Everyone did their, like, even though they were all like, they all looked like they were young. They all did a great job with fucking acting. Those two guys, the two gang members you see in the beginning. There's like a riot in the streets. The very beginning of the movie is a riot going on in the streets, and there's two rival gangs fighting, and they arrested two guys. And then when they're thrown together in the situation where they have to get thrown out to the Everglades, remember they're fighting for like the first 5 to 10 minutes of the movie, like
They got beef together, haven't they?
yeah.
All right. Well, okay, cool. Darius, what about you? What did you like about it?
I
Other than the
also,
hair.
well, yeah, I
Oh wait, I
loved,
forgot the hair too. I forgot the hair.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
yeah, I love the styling of it. I loved how 80s it was. Everything you would expect in an 80s movie, like an all-white Porsche 911, a little bit of cocaine, some, a house. It looked like it was designed by Memphis Group. You had pompadours and sunglasses and
Larry Fishburne's the lines and Larry Fishburne's flat top.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those little thin lines shaved in it, and the fact that he was still going by Larry Fishburne, and yeah, it was very 80s, but not in like a comical way. We can laugh because of how authentic it was, but I love that stuff, and yeah, the cast is pretty good. I didn't realize until near the end of the movie that Crazy is the same guy that did Hedwig and the Angry Inch, which is a very different kind of film.
I've heard of it, never saw it, but I know what it's about.
yeah, I've never watched it through, but I know what it is. And,
yes, I know of it too.
yeah. Let's see. And who else? Oh yeah, and Paul from Pulp Fiction was in it.
Oh yeah.
My name is Paul, and this is Between Y'all. And of course,
Okay, the bad guy was
James Remar. Yeah, who was also Harry, the father on Dexter, who sort of lives on in his mind.
Oh, he was on Dexter. I never watched that.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah.
He's the guy who adopted Dexter when he found him at like a murder scene and raised him with a code.
I mostly know him as Ajax from the Warriors.
Oh yeah. And also Raiden in
Mortal Kombat too. Yes.
Which people remember him as being not Christopher Lambert.
Oh yeah, 48 Hours too. Yeah, 48 hours.
Oh yeah.
I agree, Wookie.
And Darius, one of the last movies we were talking about. He's in The Girl Next Door.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And Danny Quinn was one of the main characters, the son of Anthony Quinn, who famously played Zorba the Greek. So yeah, it was and the music, it was
Lauren Holly looking like she's like 15 years old. She looks like she's younger than she says in this movie.
Right. Yeah, she's like, I'm 16, and like, oh,
she looks like she's about 15, 14.
You should be in school, right?
Yeah.
And the music was pretty good. I liked most of the music, except I did think that Broken Wings was pretty corny, but I'll save that one for later.
It was.
Now back in the
Oh,
80s, it would.
is it because of the way the scene ended up? Why you thought it was corny?
I just
Because
thought the
The
use of
sex
that
scene,
song in
the
that
sex
scene was
scene through
corny. Yeah.
the Coke bottle glass.
Yeah.
Right. And because,
Yeah.
she's like they're both kind of like fallen angels, right? With their broken wings
Yeah.
and he's learning to be a person again. And
He also slapped the shit out of her before they banged.
he did. So it's
Well, I mean,
kind of ruins the
you,
mood.
you have to get them warmed up, Slasher. I mean, it was the 80s. It was the 80s.
Damn.
Oh,
It was
that's
Chris
drug.
Hatcher
Is that,
became a
is
problem.
that drug dealer foreplay? Is that what
Yes,
that is?
yes, it is. That's exactly what it is.
Anyway.
It was 80s Miami Slasher. Come on.
I like that the action wasn't unrealistic. I thought, like, I bought it when they're shooting guns. Not
Blowing
every
shit
bullet
up.
misses. People actually get hit, and they had explosives, and I felt like it was pretty grounded in reality. You know, the way they use weapons. No one was superhuman. Guy jumps over a fence and breaks his leg. So,
The
And-
guy, the guy, Rattler.
Rattler.
Remember Rattler is escaping some other facility in the beginning. And
yep.
he's climbing over a barbed wire fence and gets fucked up, and then they start beating him down with nightsticks.
Yep.
Well,
That's what I'm thinking of.
And you talking about the use of guns? They actually changed magazines in the guns.
Mhm.
Where
Yeah.
a lot of
They
action.
actually reloaded.
Yeah, they actually like shot the gun. Like, okay, I'm out of bullets. I'm going to change magazines. Where a lot of action movies, it's like 130 round magazine lasts for 850,000 rounds.
Yeah, it wasn't Schwarzenegger and Commando.
Yeah.
Right.
I got a clip in here that's going to last the whole movie. Yeah.
Yeah. And a small detail that I like was that while Larry Fishburne's character Cream, real name no gimmicks, was driving around in a
everything
white.
me.
Yeah, he was rolling around in a white Rolls Royce. His backup enforcement was driving around in one of those '80s boat cars, and I thought that was pretty realistic because they're not going to be in a Rolls Royce. You know, they're going to be in some old.
Not
car.
unless you're a higher up goon. You have to be higher
right.
up.
Well, even back in the 80s, Rolls wasn't cheap.
No.
Now they're $500,000+ But
But no,
back then,
no.
is-
JJ Darius is talking about like the pecking order of the gangs.
Yes.
Like, unless
well,
you're
yeah,
like,
that's. I'm just talking about the Rolls.
You don't see a fleet of Rolls Royces driving
Yeah,
around. You just see
no.
Cream in the Rolls Royce, and his
Exactly.
backup is in some box
Well,
sealed.
his
not a
top
bad-
four guys, his top
Yeah.
four guys and his hose. Because remember, he had hope when we got
when they
Yeah,
were on the
two
boat,
hoses.
I was sitting there looking at the boat. I'm like, yo, man, this guy got money. He can afford a better boat.
No, that wasn't his boat. That
well-
was James Remar's boat.
Right.
Don't matter. It don't matter. I
Mr.
was just
Quintana?
looking at the boat, man. I'm talking
Right.
about the type of money this guy had.
Nestor.
Nestor.
He could have had a better boat,
Quintana.
man. This is like a 30-foot Bayliner. I'm like, anybody can buy that shit. You
Right,
know?
and that's how you know he's the kingpin. He has that big mansion. He can afford to put Nikki up in a a fancy apartment.
Fancy apartment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and-
she's like, also, I got $10,000 cash. Back then, that was a lot of money.
He also
Yeah.
stabbed that dude's hand. The
Yeah.
fucking the
Right.
idiot
Oh,
that
yeah.
had the pigtails. The dude that looked
Right.
like a big fat black guy trying to dress like a Girl Scout. And fucking,
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
pigtails
yeah.
were something else.
he's looking
Yeah,
at
he deserved to
looking
have
at-
he deserved to have his hand stabbed for sure.
he's looking at extremely underage Lauren Holly.
You're right.
And
Yeah.
Right.
he got a fucking knife and stabbed him in the hand.
Right. And so
Right.
that'd be the last thing I point out is that I found the characters' reactions to different situations to be very believable.
Okay. All right. Raquel, what did you like about it?
The outfits. The outfits I like. The outfits.
On who? Everybody?
Let's see. The guy with the glasses. I like this outfit. The guy that was wearing that purple mesh shirt was cool looking.
But he had that
Very 80s.
purple mesh tank top when they're painting the house. Is
Yes,
that what
yes,
you're saying?
yes. The house I liked. They made the mentor a pretty good actor. Yeah, that's about it, really.
Okay. All right. Han, what about you?
I liked what a lot of people have already said. I liked the music. I liked the action. I liked how 80s Miami it was. The scenery and the clothes and the cars and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I just all around like the movie. It's the only thing that I didn't I didn't like about the movie was everybody and I'm not saying everybody here. I'm just saying in this movie, everybody overlooks the fact that he's like pimping out a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah,
I know he's the bad guy, but come on, seriously.
Well, you're
brother?
not. No one's supposed to like that.
Yeah,
Nobody calls him out on it.
It's like
No.
his mistress / hoe that he pimps out is a 16-year-old girl. That
But
very
then
specifically in the movie says she's 16.
But Han, we do see she gets her she gets her
Payback.
vengeance on. Yeah, she gets her
Well,
payback on.
yeah, she does. She does get her vengeance. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Jens,
Yeah.
what'd you like? What'd you like about it?
Well, I think I liked about it is it's one of them coming of age, manning up movies where there was a bunch of delinquents, little punks, and that, and they get like trained up and that. Real quick training because the stuff they do later on, you're thinking, how good was this training? But they get trained up and that to be like, right, look, you're like a team now. And so you've got, because it was saying, oh yeah, they've got self-respect and a sort of like code sort of thing that like now, yeah, they should be all right to get a job.
Self-esteem.
Yeah, self-esteem and yeah, and so
And like they actually kick the crackheads out of the house, and they're like harboring the Haitian refugees that are in the house.
Yeah, and like I said, the action
They're, like, helping them.
Yeah, because like there's some half decent sort of like scrap fights and that sort of like
Oh yeah, he gets the bottle thrown at his head.
yeah.
The lover gets hit in the head with the bottle. They get to the brawl.
Yeah.
All the crackheads.
Yeah.
And like there's quite a bit of action in it and that, and like a pretty good action, like, and the explosions and all, some good massive and 80s.
A lot of explosions.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of explosions in this movie.
Yeah, and 80s explosions, so there's no.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were real though, man. This wasn't.
Yeah.
This wasn't CGI shit.
One other thing I'd like to point out, and Slasher brought this up when we were watching the movie. What the fuck Haitian dude with the machete?
Why are you
there with your machete?
He was standing there while 6 people fought off about 20 crackheads.
Yeah, and he's just standing there with his machete, like, I got a machete.
I told you it was because he knew, unless it started getting real, because it was just fighting on it.
But he had a machete though.
Yeah, but he couldn't rush into a fist fight with a machete, and so he was just.
All right, I guess he was maybe too spooked. He didn't realize like what he might have gotten into. Like, I don't know. It was just
bring a machete to a gunfight.
That's what I'm. Yeah. Although none of those crackheads had guns. None of the crackheads had any sort of. None of. All right. The only weapon those crackheads had. All right. There were 2 weapons that the gang of crackheads had. One had the bottle that he threw at the lover's head, and there was the crackhead girl that hit Crazy with like a stick or like I don't know, like some sort of wooden board. Those are the only 2 weapons it seemed that the crackhead gang had.
Yeah, and so that's why the dude couldn't rush in with a machete, because it had got done for. Even if he'd run over just like waving it around, he'd have got done for brandishing a dangerous weapon. So he was thinking, well, if the cops are going to get called, they're going to get called for a reason. I'm not going to go over there until I see some like guns or knives. That's what I thought.
All right, so he just had it there, like just in case, but he was too scared to run in.
He was there as backup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in
Yeah.
case they ran towards the other Haitians, he was going to use his machete, I guess.
Yeah, because
Or
it was probably
cut him down.
family
He's
as well.
like, you ain't
It was
coming in my
like-
fucking house.
Yeah, the family was all outside, fucking barricading the like entrance, and he was all like the head dude with a machete saying, "Oh yeah, you go get past me first." It could have been that situation.
I agree with you, Jens. It is a good coming of age movie.
Yeah, I did
Right.
everything they did in that movie growing up. Yes, exactly.
Well, he tells them
No.
that you guys are such badasses that you know
that
instead of
they
just
gave
going in
you
the
to
clink-
me. It's like they gave you to me.
Yep.
And they were the only ones to make it through, like the only ones, because he had the other programs set up. Remember, his whole thing was like, he lost those two other kids that left
Yeah,
the house and decided to rob a fucking 7-Eleven or something.
They got shot. And
He's
shit,
looking
yeah,
at the picture of their dead bodies in front of the store.
Yeah.
Well, all right,
And
we're
then he-
gonna
and then he
move on.
burns it.
Yeah. Well, I like burning it, but that's another story.
JJ will tell you this movie is very true to life. Every kid that grows up in Florida spends at least 1 year in the Everglades with a with a Vietnam veteran.
The cops will just throw you on
No.
a fan boat and be like, "You're in the Everglades now."
All right. It's kind of funny you say that, Han, because you guys asked me if while we were watching this, if I've ever been to the Everglades, and I've been through there.
I
once,
asked
and-
you that. I asked.
Yeah. But you asked me that, and I've been through the Everglades. I've never been to visit, sightsee or what the fuck ever. But
No
I mentioned this before. I used to work on a tugboat, and I've been to Miami, and you've got to go through the Everglades to get to Miami. Well, I was taken by a Vietnam vet.
Whoa.
Oh
Which
man,
was-
was he running a juvenile delinquent fucking recovery program?
No, actually, it was my father. It was my father. He
It wasn't this
brought
guy?
me up.
Oh, okay.
No, it was
It
my
wasn't
father.
this. Did he look like this guy at all? Okay.
No, it was my father. He was a Vietnam vet, but he was a tugboat pilot. He'd been doing it already many years when he brought me on to do it. He retired after 35, 37 years of doing it. But yeah, I went through the Glades, went all the way down to Miami
Oh, that's
With
what
a
they call it
Vietnam
on the
vet.
streets. The Glades.
with a Vietnam vet.
Straight out of the Glades.
Straight out of the
Straight out the
Glades,
Glade.
man.
Beating
Well,
the
it's
shit
the
out of
only-
alligators
it's-
every day.
It's the only Glades we got here in Florida. So, when people around here say the Glades, we know what you're talking about. Kind of like, you mean the Everglades? Yes, you fucking idiot. The Everglades. Yes, the Glades. But still, it was just weird watching that. You see this guy, Vietnam vet, taking these kids. I'm like, okay, all right. I see similarities here. I do. Because me working on a boat was I'm not going to say a lot like what these kids went through, but what I did was hell. It would have been hell for anyone, especially my age, because if you wasn't physically fit and in shape, this job would have kicked your ass severely, and it did. It wrecked me to the core. But just the similarities of it, and I agree with Jens. It's a coming of age film, which we don't have many of those anymore, and we really should. But we're gonna go ahead and move on. We got the fun shit out of the way. Let's talk about some bad shit. Slasher. Was there anything about this movie that you didn't like? No.
Nah, not really. Not really.
Yeah, I
Not
think
really.
anytime
Not really.
Slasher suggests a movie, there's not really much he dislikes about it.
No, there were certain things of movies that I suggested, and I look back at it and I'm like, this something was off about this, something was off about this. You know. But no. Even the slow parts of this movie, like, you know, the dialogue parts, it didn't drag on forever. Like, and I know I keep saying this, like a goddamn MCU movie, but anyway. The movie moved.
And it's one of them instances that even if you were to pick something, now you're just splitting hairs, pretty much. Yeah, nitpicking, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I don't really know if I could nitpick too much about this movie.
Okay. All right. That's cool. All right,
Or
Darius, your turn.
anything about this movie.
Was there anything about this movie you didn't like, Darius?
Well, I didn't really like the usage of broken wings when the guy slaps his 16-year-old traitorous girlfriend, and then
The
makes
Coke,
sweet,
the Coke
sweet-
bottle, sexy.
right, and then he makes sweet illegal love to her through the glass bricks.
Learn to fly.
Well, there's nothing saying that guy at the time wasn't of age, so hey.
Well, he was a juvenile delinquent, so they should have been around the same age, whereas the drug kingpin dude was not anywhere close to 16 years old.
Right.
I think he already
He
knocked her anyway.
He was old enough to be her dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like the pigtails on the guy on the
All right,
boat.
well,
who
yeah,
gets
all
a
right.
knife
I
through
guess
his
I didn't.
hand.
I guess I didn't like that guy. That we're supposed to not like him. Fucking Nestor.
Well,
We're not supposed to like him. We're supposed to fucking root for this guy to get killed the whole movie. Like, this is the guy that's all right. He's the guy in the movie. Like, I can't wait for him to die.
Well, and Pigtail Dude, again, you're not supposed to like Pigtail Dude. That's why he got jabbed in the
Yeah.
hand with a fucking knife.
Right. Okay.
You're not supposed to.
hang
You're
on,
not supposed
hang
to
on,
like Larry
hang on.
Fishburne either.
Time out.
Larry
Time
Fishburne.
out. Hold on. Carol. Wow.
Illegal
Sweet
love. That's her favorite kind of love.
Jesus.
I wouldn't be too open about that.
you got another sense of humor.
Well, true. That's very true. But there's just some things you don't say.
You're gonna have to teach me what those are.
There's some things you don't say.
But anyway, continue.
Did they ever explain why the black magic was involved in the plot?
You know what? All right. That's all right. There's another thing. All right. Thank you for bringing that up, Darius. That's another thing I don't like about the movie. All right. When he sends her up to his room, he's like, "Take your clothes off, go upstairs." Right. And there's this song playing. I don't know what 80s song it is, but like she's in his room. She opens the closet and sees that whole setup. Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The only other thing that ties that in is after they raided the house and made their markings.
Right. And someone says like, "Oh yeah, it's black
says,
magic."
Brujeria.
Yeah, brujeria, black magic.
A chicken was fucking killed making this.
Yeah, they killed the
Well,
chicken.
Yeah.
And with
And a few
the Haitians
maybe a snake.
being in the movie, I would say that's what Santeria, right? Which is kind of like a form of voodoo kind of stuff.
Yeah, like Caribbean magic.
Yeah, kind of like Caribbean
Was it?
voodoo.
It's what she said it. She's a brujeria. It's not even. I think she even said it wrong. I think I'm saying it wrong.
Right, but it was the 80s, so they
There's a metal
know how to
band.
say it correctly anyway.
There's a metal band that's kind of like a super band of a bunch of different with the same name. Like they're put together from a bunch of different bands.
Oh, you mean like Menudo?
Yeah, that that metal band with Nudo?
No.
Hell yeah.
More like a metal version of the Traveling Wilburys.
Nudo. Oh
But
shit!
yeah, it just felt like the black magic was an element that they started to put in the plot and then dropped it out because it didn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
The only purpose it served was because of the marking on the wall at the end.
Yeah.
That's the only purpose.
Right. Because for a
In
second
that
I
scene,
thought,
though,
oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
but
yeah.
in that scene, the house, the big house thing gets ransacked, and so maybe it might be one of those like, oh yeah, let the nutters in, do their voodoo shit. It always leaves the dead chicken on the floor.
Right, but then why did Nestor Quintana have that like black magic setup up in his bedroom with the skull there and the?
I agree. That's a very big plot hole. That
Is
I'm
it
thinking,
maybe to spook underage girls into going up into his
Yeah.
room?
because they're not
There
not
we go.
spooked enough when he says go upstairs and take your clothes off.
Maybe that setup he has in his closet in his bedroom automatically makes girls take their clothes off when they go into his
That thought had occurred to me.
I'm kind of
What's
like
up, Bonzo?
I'm kind of like
No, it's not Bonzo.
I'm kind of like Darius though. I feel like that's something that was supposed to play more into the movie. That
And they
just
kind of like
dropped.
whittled it down.
Yeah, they dropped it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
those scenes were already there, and they're like, oh, well, we can keep that in.
But
there
at least
because it doesn't really need
at
any
least the
explanation.
markings. But at least the markings on the wall at the end, it did serve a purpose. That like she saw what the markings were and knew what it was. At least that was used.
And it made him look more of a bad guy, wasn't he? Because not only was he
Yeah.
16
Yeah, not only is he a pedo, but not only,
Right, and a
not
drug
only is
dealer
he a
and a
pedo
murderer.
drug lord, but he's a black magic type guy. Yeah.
Right,
he's a devil worshipping fucking drug lord.
right, and he was just a bad friend to the lover.
Oh yeah. I went round one time and I was like, oh no, this isn't gonna go. All this black magic, pimping,
He was, he was a bad friend.
Well, yeah. Other than those, like 4 or 5 minor things, no, there's wasn't really anything I didn't like about the movie.
Okay. All right. Raquel, anything about the movie you didn't like?
The plot, it usually didn't really make sense. It was very, very like fast paced, but
It kind of doesn't, right? Like, why would you take 5 juvenile delinquents and do this?
No, it makes sense. If
I
you think
just feel that the plot wasn't really, really solid. There were like there was like some, unexplained things in the story that weren't, really explained and stuff like that.
Right, because they don't really fill in like the backstory of the operation
Mm-hmm.
until like halfway through the movie when Joe meets with his superior.
Yeah, but Joe does give them all the, like, all right, after he meets with his superior, he does tell them, like,
And then
I had all these other groups,
the mentor gets killed by the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
well,
Spoiler alert.
middle. Yeah, the middle.
Yes,
Spoiler
alert. Sorry.
for this 1986 movie. Whoopsie.
Yeah, I mean, because at first when they got dumped in the swamp, Slash was like, "Yeah, we don't know what's going on, and they don't know what's going on." And Slash was like, "Oh, it'll make sense later." And they do explain. Yeah, they do kind of catch us up on like, "Oh, that's why they got dumped out in the middle of the swamp."
Yeah,
and
the
by that
team
time,
building.
you kind of accept it.
I got put on one of them, but obviously not as severe. But it was like mountain climbing where you all go, and then you have to like be mates to each other because
All right. Also, mind you, they were all juvenile delinquents with like serious records because when they first meet him in the fucking swamp, he's got files. He's like, he's like, this is you. He's like waving the files in their face, basically.
Yes, one of them. He shouldn't really be walking free because
Which
he
one?
did
Crazy?
commit the one
Crazy?
that
Yeah,
committed
Crazy.
manslaughter.
Yeah,
The one who
maybe.
blew up a school and then killed his dad.
Yes.
Yeah, crazy.
A little time in the Everglades, though, it all straightened you right up.
Fix you right up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like taking a deal. You know,
That's
you agree
true.
to.
He is the only one who we actually saw murder someone
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning. Because all right,
Right.
we're also saying like there was a beginning montage of how we met all of them in
Right.
this movie
Yeah.
as a female.
Yeah.
And the dude who we murdered was a
His
rather
abusive dad. Yeah.
or well, his dad.
He comes in.
or
He
his
comes into
foster
his.
dad.
Right.
Oh
or
yeah,
Well,
it could have
no,
been
yeah.
his foster dad.
Could be
or
a stepdad.
Yeah.
But like he comes. All right. First he blows up a school, and then he goes back to his trailer, and then his step foster or real dad is
Yeah.
beating the shit out of his mom.
Yeah,
Just pulls
yeah.
out a gun and shoots him.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
he's
so
the only
we-
one who actually murdered somebody.
Yeah.
That we
Mhm.
But we
saw.
don't know. But we
But-
don't know how bad that dude was who we murdered. So
Well,
that's why
that's
maybe they give him the chance to see how
to
good he
me
is.
that they kind of played off as he was not
As
a
that's
nice.
like a righteous
Yeah,
murder.
yeah, well, like it was like a righteous thing, and this is his redemption, even though he did something
Yeah,
he shouldn't.
yeah.
have.
It's like the cops are like, right, yeah, well, he did do us a favor, so let's see if we can survive.
Right.
Yeah,
To
we're
be
not
fair
gonna have to come to
Crazy-
this trailer anymore.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And to be fair to Crazy, he did murder a guy in cold blood, but that guy was slapping his mom around.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I'm saying like he was also the only one we saw kill somebody before
Yeah,
they
and the
became the band of the hip.
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
cops
yeah.
thinking if he can survive,
Because they killed a shit ton of people when they became the
Oh
band
yeah,
of the
so many people.
Yeah, and if he can survive the Everglades and that, then like, yeah, he's redeemed himself.
Anyway, was there anything else, Raquel?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, Han, what about you? I know we're
First of all, I have been on the airboat in the Everglades. I've been through the Everglades many times, not on the airboat, but I've been through the
Glades?
Everglades many times. I'm sorry, the Glades. I need to say the cool language. Bone was talking about driving through the Glades. I normally take old Alligator Alley, not I-75, the new Alligator Alley. But yeah, I've been deep in the shit, man. I wasn't in any juvenile delinquent program, but yeah, I've been deep in the Glades. I'm a changed person because of it, just like this movie. To me, the only negative of the movie, and we've already talked about it, is the
Broken
blatant-
wings?
Well, that and the blatant child
Oh, pedophilia?
molestation.
The
Yeah,
pedophilia.
the blatant child molestation. Okay, you're a bad guy. You're a 1980s Miami drug dealing murderer kingpin. But she specifically, it's not like, oh, she looks kind of young. In the movie, she specifically
Yeah,
says,
she
I'm
did have to.
16.
Yeah, she even said her age.
Yeah,
she
she
didn't
even
have
said-
to say her age.
Exactly.
They could have
So
did
that-
that without her. even
Yeah,
saying
it could have just been, oh, she's a young girl and he's a young guy. They're juvenile delinquents. That doesn't necessarily mean they're like 15, 16. They could be 17, 18, closer to at least legal age. But in the movie, they have to specifically have her saying, I'm only 16 years old. And then the rest of the movie, you're like, oh, this is so cringe.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Now she's like his side booty, and he's like pimping her out and putting her up in like a fucking condo.
not just-
And
He was the bad guy, you know.
well, I mean, yeah, he
Yeah,
was the bad guy, but I mean, he was already a bad guy because
I
of the
get,
drug
I
dealing and the
I
murder.
get your, I do get your point, Han. Now though, like she
I-
didn't have to say her age.
I wonder if she, well, since the bad guy's no longer in the picture, I wonder if she got all the money.
If she got all the money,
Yeah, his money.
Because like there was
They
Oh.
weren't married. Yeah, they weren't
Well,
married. It's not like she had any legal right to any.
We
any
already
dollars.
know whatever. I don't know what she was doing for it, but we already know that she was getting some money because she's like, I have 10,000. Like you said in the 80s, $10,000 was a lot of fucking money.
yeah, that was a sort
Especially
of,
for a 16-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you didn't hear her complaining, did you? So, like,
No.
even though she was 16,
No, she did complain with a shotgun blast. At
Well,
the end.
yeah, but look, 16 years old, man, she's smoking cigarettes, snorting coke, just like any other normal adult would.
Well, I mean,
For
it was
one,
like
even back in the 80s, you needed.
First
to
of
be
all, in the
18 to be
beginning
able
of
to
the
buy
movie,
cigarettes.
she was she remember she fucking sped away from. She fucking smashed the car on her way out of the fucking drug bust.
yeah, Porsche, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nice Porsche.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah,
But that, you know, to rich people, you know, money don't mean nothing. They just wreck shit all the time.
yeah, to me that was the big glaring negative watching this movie now in 2021 was the fact that she specifically has to say in the movie for some reason, I'm 16. And then the rest of the movie, she is basically owned by the drug kingpin that's obviously way older than her.
Have you seen the Equalizer, the new Equalizer? Because if that's the same, Jack, you don't want to see that.
Wait, which new Equalizer? The one with Denzel or the one with Queen
Yeah.
Latifah?
Yeah,
Queen
no,
Latifah.
no, yeah, you're right. No, that I'm not classing that. No, but with Denzel and the little lass from Kick-Ass.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What's her name? Wasn't she in Midsummer?
I don't know, but anyway, she's like a young prostitute and that sort of thing, who gets like freed by spoilers. Denzel Washington Equalizer, dude.
Oh yeah, Chloe Moritz. She's a little girl, right?
Oh, from Kick-Ass. Chloe
yeah, from
Grace Moretz.
Kick-Ass. Yeah.
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
All
like
right. Was that everything on, or anything else?
No, that was it. The only other thing we didn't, and this wasn't a negative, but the only other thing we didn't talk about was what was his name? What was his name? Loverboy? What was his name?
The Lover.
The Lover.
The Lover's awesome fucking shoulder pads.
Oh yeah. Oh,
the
he had
super,
yeah.
the super
had-
fucking 1980s like
he had some-
aircraft carrier shoulder pads.
He had some sweet ass shiny jackets.
Yeah, with huge
Mhm.
shoulder pads you could have landed an airplane on.
They were very shiny, especially that
And
like fucking teal one he had at the end.
And
Was it,
I'm
like,
not saying that's a
teal
negative.
aqua
That's
color?
just something I forgot to talk about earlier.
Well, that was the fashion back then, because even I wore dumb shit.
Hells
like that.
yeah, it was.
And I'm not proud to say that, but I did.
But yes, the '80s came all over this movie.
Yeah, it's like a bukkake.
Yeah,
Like,
it
like,
is.
like it threw up all up in a VHS cassette.
Yeah, that was how I'm thinking before.
But yeah, okay.
And didn't
Jens.
rewind it before it returned it to the video store.
Oh, shame on you. Jens, did you not like anything about this movie?
yeah, there's no tits. Well, there's no female tits anyway.
Oh,
Male.
wow.
There are no
Yeah.
tits in this movie.
Nope,
No,
just a
not
16-year-old in a bikini.
Yeah.
Although I think I caught a glimpse of Lauren Holly's nipple when she was taking her shirt off. In
Yeah,
the,
yeah. You got a very, very,
very slight glimpse.
yeah, maybe, but no full-on shake to the camera.
No. You didn't see.
Okay.
No.
No.
Are we really talking about 16-year-old nipples?
I don't know. No,
I
he
don't,
was
I don't
talking
think she
about.
was that old when the movie was made, but
No, because there've been older like
It was also the '80s.
where
So
they
where
get like 18-year-old.
it was the '80s where like 25-year-olds play teenagers.
Yeah.
I don't know
Right.
how old Lauren Holly is now. How old is Lauren Holly now?
actually looked that up already.
Still
but I
alive,
forgot.
right?
She's well over 16.
But anyway, they didn't even have to show hair ones, neither, because if you just pan on the tits, then you
57.
can show. Yeah, they can show like a 51.
He was born in '67.
No, she's 57.
Oh, I thought you said she was born in 67.
Uh-oh, we lost JJ.
She was born in 63.
Wait, JJ, where the hell did JJ go?
Oh, okay. So she was born in 1963, and she started acting in 83 at 20, which means by the time 86 came around and she did that movie, she was already 23.
Oh, see? It's just like I was saying.
All right.
Yeah.
Like fucking, it was like Judd Nelson in Breakfast Club was 26
Yeah.
playing a goddamn teenager.
Yeah. Well,
They woke up
the
with hell.
action though. The action was a bit shoddy, as I said. Not like Shang-Chi, because the action in Shang-Chi, but it is a fucking martial arts movie, so it has to specifically go on the action. Where Band in the Hand was more of a storyline, but the action was good in it, but it was a bit 80s action where some of the scenes were good, but some of the scenes were a bit cheesy, even though I don't mind it because I'm into my 80s action, so I've seen worse because there was, as I say, some good explosions in that.
Yeah, and even though we knew that Lauren Holly was over 18, it did make it more uncomfortable when Nikki was like, sitting there taking her shirt off right before crying. You get that real gross feeling.
I'm telling you, she looked into that closet and was overwhelmed with the black magic. That's what it was.
It seemed like that was implied very subtly, just through the imagery. And then all the light on her face was blue. Like it was symbolizing her loss of innocence.
That whole room was lit up. Wasn't the room lit up blue, or was it just open the closet?
It was kind of like neon.
Yeah.
It was just all blue lighting, and then the song is like saying
Black lighting.
that like this is an innocent act. It's like I think that kind of clashes with what's happening. But
it was a long film though, wasn't it? Because
it was
1 hour and 47 minutes.
A shade under 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
A little bit under 2 hours.
Yeah, because there was bits like look at the cut. Got like 10 minutes from it.
What I tell you about playing with your pussy on camera?
Well, Raquel was asking about the kitties, and they finally woke up, so I got one out.
My bad.
I thought this was Hanstar's OnlyFans.
Pets.
And
Raquel,
Raquel, I was telling you one of them was named Stubbs because he's a bobtail. This is Stubbs. See his little tail.
Oh,
He's a bobtail.
He was born that way.
Yeah, he was born with a little bitty bobtail.
Not that I was thinking that.
Weren't you, buddy?
I was like, what the hell are you doing? I don't want to see these people.
What am I looking at?
Stubbs, now you're YouTube famous.
Where are all their beards?
Oh, kitten claws. Go back.
Maybe he sees Moira's cat in the drawing.
Like,
Maybe. I have my cat on my lap right now.
Meow.
What's your cat's name?
Pumpkin.
Aw.
She's a black American short hair.
Pumpkin pussy.
Behave.
Hi, Pumpkin.
Jens.
Oh, it's a pussy cat. It's a pussy cat.
It's basically the same joke, JJ.
I have a black American short hair named Penny. I didn't name her that. That's what she was named when I adopted her.
I was about to get brave and ask, hey, can I pet your Pumpkin?
Well, the way I got the name from, I got her from the rescue center, and they told me they found her in a pumpkin patch. Hence the name I named her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like that name because I don't like to. I know this is way off. Not that I would ever go way off topic of the movie. I don't like to name animals. I don't like to name animals people names. So the only two animals I have that have people names, that was their name already when we adopted them because they were old enough that they knew what their name was. So, but
Does
other
Hanstar
than that,
count as a people name?
what was that?
Does Hanstar count as a people name?
No.
My mate
Lady
wants to have a dog.
Myers. What's up? Good to see you.
My mate once had a dog called Blackie,
Hey, Didi Miles.
and not many
Like
people
Blackie
call the
Lawless?
dogs that. Yeah, because when you shout him, Blackie, get here, you gotta be careful.
Oh,
All right, guys.
that was another. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jason.
That's a true story.
That was another thing about this movie that would not fly nowadays was all the racial slurs.
Oh, the
that they
racial
threw-
slurs?
Oh yeah.
That were thrown around
no,
amongst
actually-
the band of Hand and
No,
other people.
No, that's not true, Hanstar. That's not true, Hanstar, because Stephen Lang says to the fucking guy, the guy who's ignoring him while he's making his dinner reservations on the phone in front of him, he says, "We've broken down gang barriers, racial barriers." He's like he says this, so that was the point of all those racial slurs being thrown around, because they all
To
were
overcome it.
exactly. You saw they all had each other's backs at the end.
Yeah.
That's the point of it. That's the point of it.
It was almost
Yeah.
like
For
it
a
was
coming
almost-
of age story, but
Yeah.
you said
There was a
coming of age.
juvenile.
But that was the point of that, though. That was the point of that.
Yeah. It was all
it
about.
was almost like in the end they became a band of the Hand.
Of maybe something that's attached to the end of your arm, right?
Well, and I love movies like this from the 80s because they were all juvenile delinquents and the chick was 16. So we'll just guess all of them were 16, 17, 18 years old.
Right.
No,
If the
they
mi-
could have been 18 because then they'd have been tried as adults.
well,
yeah.
but they were all around that age frame. And the end of 80s movies like this, okay, you got rid of the really bad guy. Your mentor's dead. And they all ride off into the sunset like now they're millionaires and they can do whatever they want to. And it's like, no, tomorrow you're going to have to wake up and figure out how the fuck you're going to make money.
18 style. They'll all get.
Hey, Han, they
Oh,
survived
yeah.
the goddamn Everglades. They could do whatever the fuck they want now.
I agree with that. I'm just saying.
One
I think
mechanic.
movies like that are funny because at the end they're like, yeah. And it's like, yeah, okay, you did that. What are you going to do tomorrow when
Oh,
rent's
no.
due?
Bring the film down.
Well, remember, no, they ain't got to worry about money for a little bit. Girl had 10 grand.
Yeah, she
in
got
cash.
10 grand. She got
Yeah.
10 grand. They got guns. They got a truck.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
that
got,
was-
they got newly discovered survival skills.
That was another funny part of the movie is how all the weapons they need for the rest of the movie they got from Larry
Lawrence
Fishburne's
Fishburne.
thugs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they basically got about 40 guns.
At one time.
Nice ones and all, though.
They used one handgun and got like 40 or 50 fully automatic submachine guns plus handguns at one time from Larry Fishburne's thugs.
Yeah, but
That
where
was
did they get the
also
fucking
hilarious.
ammo?
That is true. Where did they get the?
Uh,
Well, maybe that's why they had all those different guns.
Yeah. And the really
Although they were changing clips. They were
Yeah,
changing
they-
clips.
Yeah.
just gone down to the gun shop, weren't they? Because Thingy was all like a copper, wasn't he? Sort of.
They're teenagers. They can't buy ammo unless he went and bought all this ammo with whatever money he had hidden. Joe had hidden away somewhere. Because remember, he gave the dude $25 to go down to for lights and gas. Or
I
whatever.
thought he gave him 100 something. I thought he gave him $125.
Oh, I thought it was
And
only
then-
$25.
and he
That's
said
what I
that-
heard him say.
I thought he said $125, and he turns to him. Rattler is like, "What's to say that I'm not gonna skip town?" And he looks at him. He's like, "I didn't say you were." Like,
Yeah.
he's
I
basically
think
like, "If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't." He's basically like,
I want to say it was $125 because $25 wouldn't be enough even in the 80s really to skip town.
and he told
No.
him too, because he's the illiterate one. He told him, "It's like just." It's like the guy will tell you where to write your name. You already know how to do that.
Yeah.
Because remember, he
I also
couldn't
forgot
read.
about the literate dude. I forgot about
Yeah,
that
he couldn't
too.
read. He couldn't read, and he got them fucking lost while they were trying to get around.
All right. Well, All right. So the burn. I saw the burning question in the chat. Are we doing one next week? Yeah, that's the question right now. That's undecided at the moment. And if we do, then you guys will figure it out later.
I thought the burning question was JJ born in the Everglades like all true Florida men?
And I've answered this how many freaking times? It just shows you don't listen to me. And that's a big hell no, sir. Damn, just because I'm in Florida doesn't mean I'm the only motherfucker in Florida.
I thought that's how Florida men were made, as a snake and alligator screw. And then Florida man rises out of the Everglades.
I'm a fucking city
like
boy,
swamp
man.
thing.
Yeah, exactly, like Swamp Thing.
I'm a city boy. We got swamp and stuff around where I live at, or near where I live at, but I ain't never been around that shit. Never been interested in it. I ain't never been hunting. I hate fishing. Love boats, but I hate fishing. Nah. If I can't go to the grocery store and buy it, I don't need it.
JJ's, I think, tired of. I'm sorry, the cats are playing with a toy. If you hear like a weird chirping sound.
No, I thought that was your brain squeaking.
It could be. No, that would sound like two sticks rubbing together.
All right.
I think
Like a
JJ's
hamster
tired.
wheel?
I think
Does it sound like
JJ's
a
tired
hamster
of
wheel?
the. I think JJ's tired of the Florida man talk.
Well, listen, man.
JJ's my favorite Florida man.
He's
JJ's
my favorite. He is my favorite.
I mean,
Florida man
granted,
as well.
Tommy now is like officially Florida man, but he's not. Tommy may say he's Florida man. Tommy's New Jersey man.
Yo, bruh.
JJ is
Bro.
Florida man. JJ
Hey,
born and raised in
Slasher.
Florida.
JJ was
Flat.
born and raised in Florida.
Exactly.
Tommy,
Yo.
as we would say in the South, Tommy is a carpetbagger.
Yeah.
He's a damn Yankee. We call him damn Yankees. We call you a Yankee. Like Slashy, if you come down here,
Like
you're
we
a
would
Yankee.
call you hillbillies or hicks. Yes. I
Yeah.
understand.
If you come down here, you're a Yankee. If you
Yes.
move down
you
here
come
and
up here,
stay,
you're a hillbilly.
if you come down here and stay, you're a damn Yankee.
Tommy a
So
carpetbagger.
Tommy is a damn Yankee.
He's a transplant, born and raised in Jersey, came to Florida, which
If Tommy's any kind of trans, you need to let him out himself that way, JJ. You don't need to do it on your live stream.
the only
funny
trans
thing
I
is-
said was transplant.
I know.
So,
I'm just.
It's
I'm
a man
being
who became a plant.
I'm being a
Yeah,
smartass.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just being a
he's-
smartass.
Like Swamp
he's
Thing.
He's a
Again,
trans.
with the Swamp Thing again.
You can
Dee
say
Myers
Swamp Thing
agrees
is
with
trans-
Han, by the way.
Tommy is a transplant because he came from Jersey to Florida to put down some roots.
Oh wait, I got
And Darius was the only one that caught that. That's fucking sad.
Oh, I did, but like I'm a bit away from the mic.
But has he ever been alone in the Everglades with a Vietnam veteran?
That I don't know. You'd have to ask.
Then he's
ask
not
him that one for
truly. He's
yourself.
not truly a Florida man.
Hey, Han, Dee Myers agrees with your terminology.
I would say, generally, most people I know that are born and raised in the South would agree with that terminology.
Mm.
And it's a term. It's a term of endearment because I have lots of friends that were not born and raised in the South. They moved down here like, Tommy moved to Florida. But it's just kind of it's a Southern thing. Like Slasher was saying, if I come up there, I'd be a fucking hillbilly or a hick or a redneck or
well,
whatever.
you know what? If I
Now, if you
ever
came
had
to
the
Detroit, you
opportunity-
fit right in.
If I ever had the opportunity to go up to New York and visit Slasher, I would gladly look at everybody and say, "How y'all doing?"
Oh, I would
Yeah.
too.
Just to fuck with them.
Oh, well,
I can't
No
get
one-
rid of the Southern slang.
Dude, it's not like anyone here hears if they're gonna hear your Southern accent. You think they're gonna like pull out a pair of breast knucks and like assault you and try to mug you? Like, no, they're gonna be enamored with your voice. They're gonna be like, holy shit, oh my! They're gonna look at you like a fucking leprechaun, dude. They're gonna look
Well,
at you
hey,
like,
And
we-
every
we-
every
like
time
a
JJ walks,
unicorn.
every time JJ walks in the room, there's gonna be somebody behind him with a banjo going diddling ding ding ding
Yeah.
ding.
No,
ding, ding.
every
Like, hey,
every
pal,
time
where you from?
Wow.
Dude,
Where you from, pal?
Southerners that come up here and have the twang voice, yeah, you're gonna be looked at like a unicorn. You're gonna be looked at like, wow,
we did
I
this-
wanna
hey.
I wanna know this guy and talk to this guy. Like,
When I was going to school, man, one of our English teachers was from New York, and we looked at her the same exact way because of the accent she had. She had a very strong New York accent, very strong. And we all looked at her like, "Oh my God, that is hot as hell." You know, her name was Miss Fixel.
I'm just saying, Southerners are appreciated up here in New York. Like, Southerners don't get it twisted. Like, when you come up here and you start throwing that drawl around.
Well, Dee Dee
People-
Myers
people
playing
like you a
Jackbox
lot.
last night. Playing
Oh,
Jackbox
yeah.
last night. Yeah, I became a blood type, so that was awesome.
I imagine you laughing, Slasher, because when he was talking about going to school in your mind, I picture you seeing him sitting in the Everglades with the alligator as his teacher. I picture that was what's going through your mind when he's like, "Oh yeah, when I went to school, I had a teacher," and in your mind it's like,
I'm just letting you know right now. Your next,
That's
your,
how
your
Florida
next,
man was born.
Your next trip here. Be careful if I ask you if you want to take a ride somewhere. Okay.
You might end up on a fan boat into the Everglades.
I've already been on a fan boat in the Everglades, so I'm down with that.
Yeah, but
Oh, well,
you
I
might
was
be
gonna get him on a
handcuffed. You
fan.
might be handcuffed and held at shotgun.
No, I was
No,
going to
that's-
get him on an
that's-
airboat, but it's only because it's at the Jacksonville Zoo. Hey man, you want to ride a fan boat? Come on, let's go for a ride. You know, seriously. With that being said, guys, we're getting close on the hour and a half mark. I'm going to close up shop.
Moira Kitty has a cat in her lap.
Hey, sure.
Oh,
that
that ain't no cat.
Mora Kitty art. Oh no, I'm not gonna say it.
That cat.
That's a
I'm
mountain
sorry.
cat.
No, that cat is not. That cat's already YouTube famous. Okay.
It kind of looks like my Hemingway, my polydactyl cat. The coloring and everything.
Sherry says,
Holy
New
shit!
Raquel, you
My
need
kitty.
to keep your camera on
"Hey,
more.
Raquel."
Oh, hey,
Oh.
pumpkin.
Hey,
Oh.
Pumpkin.
Mhm.
I love
What's
black
up,
cats.
Pumpkin?
I told you in the DM group, I have a black. I've always had
That
a
is
black
cool.
cat. I have multiple cats now. I just have one black cat, but I've always had a black cat, and my current black cat is Penny. That we
Just a little
adopted.
sneak peek.
And Penny is such a daddy, like super
Sweet.
bad at daddy's girl.
Peek
I
at
got
the
to see
pussy.
Pumpkin on stream. I'm privileged.
By the way, Sherry says New Yorkers are mean and rude. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate it.
Who? Sherry? Okay. Don't know who you are, but thank you for coming by. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
Sherry's cool. I see Sherry
I
all
don't-
over the place.
Oh, Sherry. My bad. Yeah.
Sherry was there last night.
Yeah.
I,
yeah.
guess,
My bad.
I
How
guess
you
I'm
doing, Sherry?
I guess I'm rude and
Sherry?
mean. Whatever.
You fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Well, no, you're not rude to me to us, as far as I know. But
We're only nice to you, Slasher, because
Oh.
we're trying to convince you to get on an airboat and go to the Everglades with us.
Dude, I would
So
love to
we
fucking
can
hang out in the Everglades.
so we can take you on a coming of age journey.
I'm gonna tell you what. If
you
I
know,
ever-
Han,
if
I'm a year older than you, Han, right?
That doesn't matter. That doesn't
My-
matter.
my
we can
age has
still
come.
Go, we can still go on a coming.
My
It's
age
not-
has come.
It's never too late to go on a coming of age journey in the Everglades.
yo, if I got Slasher down here and I got him off a boat, on a boat riding around the water, just the wind blowing through his hair. I don't
First
think
of
he'd
all,
ever get him
like,
off of
first of all, I want to take a trip out to Everglades. Be like, yo, this is the spot where they filmed Band in the Hand. This is where they threw them into the swamp.
Well, you
I'd be
see,
filming that shit.
there's a lot of places down south that looks like that. There's nothing saying that was actually the
Yeah, that's
Everglades,
true. That's true.
Even though
Yeah.
that's where it was.
That's true. Good point.
In the movie, because I was watching some of the skylines.
We'd have to kind of Google that shit for actual filming locations. But yeah,
Yeah,
like IMDb filming locations.
I was looking at some of the skylines when that was going on, and it looked kind of familiar. But at the same time, it wasn't near the Everglades. It was area I've seen that's down near around Cape Canaveral.
Sherry says she's from New York. Okay, that's what she's saying.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, there's
Hey, that's cool.
There's lots of swampy areas, as JJ was saying, in Florida that could stand in for the Everglades.
Because there's a lot of it seriously around Cape Canaveral. There's a lot of it. No, excuse me, Kennedy Space Center. It's right there on the Indian River, and there's a lot of it in there. And they actually use airboats to patrol the area. So like I said, it could have been anywhere around in there, and it looked very familiar.
If we call it a fan boat, will they look at us funny?
Probably because it's an airboat.
Well, if you call
this is going to be the sledgehammer, spike hammer conversation all over again. So
I have been on 2 airboats, one in the Everglades and one in a swamp in around New Orleans in Louisiana, and neither of those people called them fan boats.
Yeah, I haven't been on an airboat before. I'm not much of a camper, outdoorsy person. I need to sleep in my own bed with AC.
What you're saying, Raquel, is you don't want a coming of age trip to the Everglades. Is that what you're telling us?
Yes.
Well,
because we can make that happen. We can do a GoFundMe.
No.
We can do a GoFundMe. Right. We can drive you down to the Everglades and just throw you out in the swamp.
I'm gonna go ahead and quote what my first ex-mother-in-law said.
Oh, no.
I'm not going camping anywhere unless it's got a fucking lock and a door. Okay.
Same, except for that last part.
I've actually camped a lot without a lock and a door. I don't do that
if you got a motorhome or a camper, it's got to have a door on.
Well, I know that. I'm saying I've done that a lot previously in tents and stuff. But as you know, JJ, No, I'm saying, as you know, my current camper van project is a van, so it has a lock and a door.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying you're talking about tents. I don't care. Zippers ain't locks. Flaps ain't doors. No.
Do you want me to? I know this says that we've already went way off fucking the rails. So do you want me to really freak you out, JJ?
Not if it involves a story about someone you work with or a train.
It actually involves people I work with, but it's actually
Is this
not.
Going to be a 30
no.
Is this going to be a 30-minute story, huh?
No. This is a very short story. JJ is freaking out about tents. You know what? The last time I went camping, do you know how I camped?
Like, oh, hello, darlings.
I hope you was fully clothed.
I was fully clothed, but there's a place in North Carolina called the Nantahala River, and some guys that I work with that are my friends, we would go whitewater rafting up there because one of them owned a raft and the other one had a friend that's an outfitter that works on the Ocoee River, which is another whitewater river, and he would borrow his raft, so we'd have 2 rafts, and we would go raft during the day, and then we would camp overnight at a campground. And the last time I camped, I slept on a cot under an awning. No tent, no cover. You know those easy up canopies? I slept under one of those, and nothing between me and the world but a sleeping bag.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Preferably I'd like to have room service, but you know what I'm saying? If it ain't got a lock and a door, I ain't interested.
If you watch it, Tabs, so I'd do it because most of that you ain't going to go to sleep.
Well, yeah. I will admit that I woke up in the middle of the night and was laying there because some noise woke me up. And it was probably the fire because you know how fire is, it's going down. You still have crackles and pops and stuff. That's probably what woke me up was the campfire. But
Yeah,
I was laying there on my cot, and
Yeah, good job.
one of-
Cracks didn't set you the cot on fire.
well, and cracks and pops from a fire kind of sound like people walking through the brush, snapping twigs, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So I will admit that in the middle of the night, I woke up and was laying there in my sleeping bag, thinking to myself, "This is way too easy for an axe murderer to like take me out." Even a tent would mean he had to operate zippers. He doesn't even have to operate zippers to murder me with an
Giggity.
axe.
Giggity.
And then I fell back asleep.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wouldn't sleep in a cabin with no AC. No.
No.
But I wouldn't mind having a day trip or a night trip looking for Bigfoot.
You know, Raquel, not far from me, there is, and I've been there, there's actually a Bigfoot museum about an hour from me.
Ooh.
You can look it up on the internet. It's called Expedition Bigfoot. It's an actual Bigfoot museum. And I'm being 100% serious, JJ. This is not being funny to be a smartass. They have a huge Bigfoot turd there. I'm 100% serious with this. They have a huge Bigfoot turd.
Did they actually know what a Bigfoot turd looks like?
I know what a Bigfoot turd looks like because I've been to Expedition Bigfoot.
They got
Ladies
over
and
there.
gentlemen, welcome
Yeah,
to
but they
episode
do-
15 of Band of the Turd.
But they do. Never mind.
But yeah,
They-
that's
They do never mind. That's right.
they have a think glass case like going to a very nice museum with like a Fabergé egg in it. Think like a very nice glass case
Fabergé. Oh my
instead
god.
of having a Fabergé egg or something fancy in it, like a gold something fancy.
I
It
would.
has a Bigfoot turd in it.
I also wouldn't mind going to a Bigfoot convention or something like that does with the paranormal.
I'll wait. I'll wait till we are.
Truck.
We're already going long, and I'll wait till we're off the air. But I'll tell you a funny
Mm.
story, Raquel, of how I ended up going to Expedition Bigfoot, which does involve a guy I work with.
Hey, Dandelion Fluff.
Dandelion,
Hey,
Allie, hey,
Dandelion.
darling.
How
Hello.
you doing, sweetie? Good to
Hey,
see you.
Dandelion.
We're already kind of off the rails, JJ, and we've talked. You and I have talked
Yeah.
about this.
And he didn't bring up the last bit of the
Yeah.
round table thing.
Oh my god. Thank
The
you,
what?
Slasher.
Yeah.
Never
The
mind,
round
never mind.
table,
I
bro.
have one more question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, I forgot. I totally forgot. Thank
Oh,
you,
the
Slasher.
grade. You forgot about
Yeah,
the grade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Slasher. what
Oh
grade would you
yes.
A. Give it an A.
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 Good. Pretty
A.
nice. Darius.
I would give it an A.
An A. Okay. All right. Raquel.
Getting sure making
B.
B. Okay. Han.
Honestly, I would give it a B, but as I said, and we joked about during the stream, I said it's like the 1980s threw up in a VHS cassette and took it back to the video store without rewinding it. I give it an A just because of its. The movie was, don't get me wrong, the movie was good. I loved the movie. What puts it to the A mark for me is how 1980s it is. It has like everything. It oozes the 80s. Everything about it oozes the 80s.
Yeah.
And I love all things 80s, especially movies and shows and stuff like that. So the movie itself, I would say a B, but it being so over the top 80s pushes it to an A for me. So I would say an A.
Okay. All right. Cool. Jens.
Yeah, I'd have to give it a B minus, I think, because even though it was great action in that, there was no female gratuitous shots of breasts, which I find disappointing.
All right, so there's lacking titties. Okay.
Lack of 16-year-old titties makes Jens mad.
But she was 24. She was 24. So it'd have been 24. Yeah,
In reality, yes.
But in the movie,
No,
but
then
in the
again,
movie, she was
Lon-
supposed to be 16.
All right, but
Yeah,
Lawrence
but
Fishburne,
he's
Lawrence Fish. All right, sorry, Larry
Larry
Fishburne. When we
Fishburne.
saw him in the car for the first time, he did have 2 hose on each arm. Like, I
That's
guess
true.
they could. I guess they could have did a scene of Larry Fishburne in his lair, his headquarters.
That may be in the deleted scenes.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I wonder if there is deleted scenes.
I
I
about I guarantee. Well, every movie has deleted scenes, but I guarantee.
No, I mean like
there's-
if,
And
if they're, like,
bloopers.
well, I
yeah,
guarantee.
I'm
I
just
guarantee.
like saying if like since this movie was pretty much buried on arrival, like
Well, I
you
guarantee.
think anyone would
though,
bother posting deleted
from-
scenes
well,
of this movie
no,
anywhere?
But from and I'm sorry, Jens, not to interrupt you, but from what we were saying earlier in the stream, I guarantee you there was more shots and more to the storyline about the Santeria / voodoo aspect that they just cut out of the actual movie. There had to have been.
Yeah, probably. Oh,
Hmm.
yeah. And the action, as I say, even though it was good action, it wasn't the action that like was.
It wasn't Rambo action.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was kind of Rambo action. At the end.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
of course.
mean,
But
once they
Not
had
all
all
the way
the
through.
once they had all the machine guns and stuff, it was kind of
Yeah.
Rambo-ish. Towards
Yeah,
the
yeah.
end.
They attacked the fucking compound. You know.
Yeah. At the end, it got quite a bit sort of Rambo-y and that. But most of the film, as I say, it was a bit sort of like coming with an age move. So the action, it wasn't made for the action. It was made for
The
sort of like,
story.
yeah.
Yeah,
story.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And so for me, like, I found it a
They
good
did
film.
kind of set up a sequel at the end when they
Yeah,
bounced.
True.
They
That's
got
very
through-
true.
They got
Oh,
through-
yeah,
they got
very
through-
true.
They got through the checkpoint scot free. You know.
Yeah. But for me, I've give it a B- because it just lacked a bit more sort of like less storyline and more sort of like killing people because the stamps your puppy to death. So
Stamps your poopy to death.
No, he said
Oh,
puppy.
That
Puppy.
stabbed a puppy.
Oh, I heard
Puppy.
poopy. I was like, what?
Puppy.
Stabbed a
Don't go
puppy.
stabbing poopies.
Not
No,
poopies,
no.
JJ. We're
Or
not talking about
puppies.
Mr. Hanky.
yeah, it could have been a total different film. That if
That would have been a way different film.
you've seen
Yeah,
Keanu,
right.
And
Got that right.
you made a very good point, Slasher. And well, we know obviously Streets of it was Streets of Fire, right? Was the name of that movie?
Yeah, that one kind of set up
No,
for a sequel
that-
too.
that was
Kind of the
obviously
same way.
Well, we read.
Kind of set up. That it was set up.
We read it was supposed to be a trilogy. You can find that online. It was supposed to be a trilogy, but the movie bombed. And this movie, like Jens was saying and you were saying, it sets it up at the end for a sequel, but I'm having a feeling that this movie kind of did not do well like Streets of Fire didn't
Just
do
like
well.
Streets of Fire, yeah.
So
No, well-
there could have possibly been a sequel of them basically being like the juvenile delinquent A team, as we all like to call them,
Yeah.
going around smacking alligators and
giving
You know,
criminals.
And
Man.
saving Haitian refugees from crackheads.
even though they have a machete.
I told you he probably didn't want the cops getting called unless like he's.
Dude, there were no cops in that town at
No.
at certain
He
points.
was
The
at
cops,
the
the cops
end.
are very
At-
selective
at
when they
the
came
end.
Yeah,
around
but
that
you know,
movie.
they'll come around, won't they?
At the end was the only time you saw the cops really in the whole movie.
And it
There was like
Florida
gun-
Highway
there
Patrol.
was-
other than the
Gun
other than the
fights and all
beginning.
kinds of shit. Yeah,
Well, other than the beginning.
beginning, yeah, when they get arrested and stuff, so they have to go to the Everglades. But other than that, you don't really see the cops in the movie, and there's like a ton of like ass whooping, fist fights, gun
All right,
battles.
outside their house, there's like what seemed, all right, maybe it wasn't 15 minutes, but it felt like 15 minutes of a shootout. They're shooting from the windows at the cars.
It was a super long shootout. Super long shootout.
Yeah, but where'd they get the explosives from too? It sounded like they were either using grenades or rocket launchers or something.
They got the explosives by getting the stuff from the warehouse where they got the mole sort of.
Well, when there was the raid on their house, they didn't have the explosives. They didn't get it until they raided the compound.
Yo, they were doing drive-bys. They caught that house afire by using something, and it was exploding.
Yeah. They were outside though, like the goons, Larry Fishburne's goons. They were probably throwing Molotovs. Who knows?
Probably, yeah. But I heard booms. It sounded like grenades or rocket launchers or something like that.
Well, isn't there at some point in the movie? Wasn't there a grenade thrown? I mean, specifically, wasn't there a grenade?
You mean at the end when he at the turret with the Gatling gun?
Yeah. Didn't he throw a grenade
into the turret? Yeah,
he made that shit.
Yeah, he made that shit when they went to the store. Crazy and Lauren Holland go explosive shopping.
I just want to also say, talking about no law enforcement around, they had a compound with a fucking Gatling gun.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
an actual gun turret, like in the military with a Gatling gun.
Yep.
Drug dealers are serious, man.
I'm just saying, talking about
even back in the 80s.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, talking about law enforcement. I mean, I understand in the 80s, everybody was strapped and there was all kinds of drug wars and gang wars, but still, to have like a mounted Gatling gun on your house, that's some crazy shit.
He paid money to have that put up there.
Yeah, it's not his holiday home though, is it?
Yeah, that's just his.
His holiday home is in the Everglades. You have to take a fan boat.
It's not like he's getting his. It's not like he's getting his personal mail delivered there, Hosh.
Yo, man. Yo.
It's like his enemy base. It's like his secret super villain layer.
You're gonna be getting Amazon packages sent there.
His fucking holiday home has sniper towers and shit.
Yeah, it was
his holiday home is in the Everglades, JJ. You have to take a fan boat to get there.
Like, I think
snipers ain't never used airboats? Really?
I thought we agreed they're fan boats.
No, that was Darius. That wasn't us.
I don't call it a fan boat.
Darius we can't blame Darius. He's from Michigan. He doesn't know the difference between an airboat and a fan boat.
What? Yeah.
Because I'll tell you something. If I had that,
all right, I'll take that one.
I'm just messing with you, Darius.
No, I'll take it.
Yeah,
Dee Myers. It wasn't even a house. It's not a house though. That wasn't a house. That was a drug shack. That was a fucking.
Yeah, but
the drug shack.
Dee is picking up what I'm.
Shack, baby.
Dee is picking up what I'm putting down.
Stop dropping that shit.
I understand the goons and the machine guns.
Drug shack. Baby, drug jack.
But like Dee is saying, the mounted emplacement with the Gatling gun was like way too much over the top.
Yeah,
it was awesome. It was awesome.
I didn't say it wasn't awesome. I didn't say it wasn't awesome.
When I build my drug compound, when I build my own drug compound in fucking Everglades, I know what I'm gonna do. So.
You're gonna get a minigun, ain't you?
Yeah, it's probably the first thing you get for your fucking underground, even though it wasn't underground, but your enemy base layer that you.
I mean, I'll be the first to say, if I was a really, really successful drug dealer, the first thing I would do would be get a 16-year-old sex slave and a minigun.
You fucking maniac!
Oh no. Now it makes sense. Yeah.
All you have to do is start practicing black magic, though. There you go.
Yeah.
On that note,
Wait a minute, JJ. I'm just joking.
Oh my
about
God,
it.
really?
I'm just
Oh,
joking
no.
about getting a 16-year-old sex slave. I have to say that because this is a live stream. I'm joking about that. It has to do with the movie. If you
Now, I told him he had one coming, but he didn't believe me. Is he crying?
Oh, okay, don't cry, monster.
Crying right now.
Just try like a 16-year-old
Oh.
abused prostitute.
right.
At the service of a drug lord.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Okay. Anyway, with that being said, I want to thank
shit.
everybody in the chat for showing up. Dee Dee Myers, Bone, Carol's Cookies, Dandelion Plug. Thank you for coming in. Are you all right, hon? You gonna survive?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just
Take a
just
big
laughing.
deep breath.
I'm just having a good hearty laugh.
Optic Racer came in the beginning. Sherry, thank you for coming in. See, like I said, Darius, you don't count.
So rude.
Yeah, I know, ain't I? I'm a dick sometimes. But that's okay. My memory's failing me. Yeah.
Good night, Sherry.
Good night,
Sherry.
Sherry. Yeah, Optic Racer. Wookiee Supremacy. I'm looking. Because my memory sucks, guys. Sorry. And if I missed you, I apologize, but that's as far back as I can go. Everybody on the panel, thank you for showing up and hanging out with me this evening.
Thank you, man.
And with that, yeah, no problem. With that being said, everybody, say good night.
Night.
Good night, everybody.
Now buckle this. Ludicrous speed. Go!